Welcome aboard the Boat Buyer's Secret Weapon podcast, where we're dedicated to helping first-time and experienced boaters find the right boat at the best price and ensure all boaters have years and years of happy boating fun because life truly is better on a boat. Today's podcast is sponsored by the First Time Boat Buyers Academy, so you can find the perfect boat at the lowest possible price and buy with 100% confidence. For a short video, visit boatbuyerssecretweapon.com/academy. I reference some graphs and charts in this podcast. You can visit the Boat Buyer's Secret Weapon YouTube channel to view all of those resources. Now, let's hop aboard and have some fun. Welcome to the Boat Buyer's Secret Weapon series. I'm your host, Captain Matt, and today we're talking about those big regrets that happen after you buy your boat, of regrets that are easily avoidable. So let's jump in. The number one regret that you hear over and over from people is they bought a boat that doesn't perform the way they want. They just got too little horsepower, whether it's putting a 50 outboard on a pontoon or trying to save a few bucks and putting the 3.0 liter or just too small of an engine on your boat. You don't get the speed that you want, and more importantly, you don't get the performance when you put some weight on the boat. So the 50 is fine for many people that just want to putz around, but those people that want to put 8 people on the boat and still get up and go even a little bit on a pontoon really struggle. Some of the smaller entry-level fiberglass boats where they put the 3.0 are the smallest engine, the smallest horsepower they can, and now the boat doesn't get up on plane. The boat doesn't perform without putting one of those whale tails on it or some sort of a fin on the lower unit. So that's why it's so important to get the boat on the water and operate it like you will when you own the boat. So putting that type of weight in the boat, remember, you got coolers, you got gear, you got fuel, all of that weight adds up. And that's how you're going to know that the boat's going to perform. So avoid that regret of getting too little horsepower. Now, the next regret is just flat out buying the wrong boat. So you're basically buying somebody else's headaches. It's why one of my most popular videos is this: do not buy these boats. I talk through the boats. There's a part 1, there's a part 2, the boats to stay away from that. Hey, other people have already made these mistakes. You don't have to have those regrets. So you can check that video out for more details. The next is you buy the wrong size or style of boat. So you want to go out fishing with your 8 buddies? Well, then you can't get a 14-foot little center console. It's just not going to work. You got to get the right size for what you're looking to do. If you're on a smaller body of water, then you can't go out and you can't get the biggest cruiser you can find. It just doesn't work. If you're going to do water sports, you know, that big cruiser, it's a beautiful boat, that aft cabin, but it's not designed to be a surf boat. You want to make sure that you think about the style. In my First Time Boat Buyers Academy, I talk about the 80% of usage for your boat, the 80% of the time, who's going to be out on the boat with you, what are you going to be doing, and buy your boat for that to avoid that regret. Next is you cheap out on the trailer. Man, you want the biggest, baddest boat you can get for your money, and then you say, oh, I need a trailer. Well, can I put it on a single axle trailer? Oh man, I'm right on the weight cusp. Can I put it on the smaller trailer and save $500? I'm here to tell you, don't do it. Skimping on the trailer is, you may think it's not that big a deal until you break down on the highway, you break down on the interstate, your trailer fails you in some manner, and you're going to wish you would have spent the extra $1,000, $500, $2,000, whatever it is, to get the appropriate trailer. That means the right number of axles, the right equipment, and the right capacity, not just for the dry weight of the boat, but for the boat, for fuel, for the gear, for everything that's going to be on that trailer when you're hauling it down the road going 80 miles an hour with your family in the tow vehicle. Do not cheap out on the trailer. I'm telling you this, too many people do it, and too many people have disastrous endings. Next is buying it from the wrong dealer. Wormwood Motors, not the place to go if you want, was it Matilda? Not the place to go if you want a reliable vehicle. Well, you've got to be real careful. Buying a new boat, buying a used boat, if you're going to buy from a dealer, you got to make sure that dealer is going to be on the up and up. They're going to stand behind their product. They're going to stand behind their new warranty and fight for you if it need be. They're going to stand behind their used boats and not say, oh, you bought it as is, tough luck. Got an email from a subscriber that was on the live video last night. We go live at 8 o'clock once or twice a week on YouTube and Facebook, and he said, hey, based on your advice, I asked for my deposit back on a boat they were giving me the runaround. Turns out they're selling the dealership in a month and they're closing down. Guess what? He would have been in a world of trouble. They were already starting to show signs that they weren't going to be a great dealer. You really have to vet that dealer. We talk about it in the First Time Boat Buyer Academy, but just ask some questions. Talk to more than just the salesperson. Talk to the general manager and the owner. And an inside tip, talk to the service people. Talk to those technicians, the service manager, the service writer, the people that you're going to have to deal with after you buy the boat. Find out what they're really like, because those people tend to be a little bit more upfront and just more straight shooters, because they're not salespeople, they're technicians, and they tend to give you more of the straight skinny. Next is don't regret not learning how to operate your boat. If you buy from a dealer and they offer you training, take the training. If you're in a state that there's a safe boater requirement, go take the safe boater class. Even if you're old enough that you don't have to, go take that safe boater class. You'll learn something that's going to be valuable. You're going to make connections. You're going to probably have some fun. If you want to really learn how to operate your boat, it's why we created the Best Boat Captain on the Water training at bestboatcaptainonthewater.com. But here's the thing. You're going to regret putting that ding in your boat the first time out if you just try to jump in it and say, it's like driving a car. I'll figure it out. It's not like driving a car. It's different. That you've got wind, you've got currents. You don't have four tires touching the ground, keeping it stationary. You're bobbing up and down in water. You don't steer from the front when you turn. You steer from the rear because that's where the motor is. You don't have brakes. There's so many things that cause people to put people in danger, to damage their new boat, new or used, new to you boat, doesn't matter. You don't want to put a ding in it, and you want to learn how to operate it. It's why we put that together. Or hire a local captain. If you can find somebody locally that you can pay $400, $500, $600 to take you out on the water, do that. That's the best option. My program is awesome, and if you don't have that, it will make you a very competent and give you 100% control of your boat. But you got to do something so you don't have that regret. Next is you find another boat that you just fall in love with after you buy your boat. Hey, once you buy that boat, you make the decision. I know you're never done boat shopping. My brother, I talked to him a week after he bought one of his boats. I said, what are you doing? I'm looking on Boat Trader, looking at more boats. I'm like, you just bought a great boat. Stop looking for a little while. Give yourself the chance to love the boat you have. Enjoy it. Work on getting that boat looking great. Customize for the way you want it. Your gear set up so that you're going to have a great time on it. Learning how to operate it and figure out the nuances of your boat. Don't have that jealousy because there's always going to be your next boat. You can always start shopping again, but just enjoy the new boat for a little while, the new to you boat for a little while. Spend some time polishing it up, getting your name on it, thinking about how you're going to name it. We got a video coming out on naming ceremonies soon, so you can follow along. But enjoy that boat and enjoy that excitement of the new boat. Next is you buy the wrong boat for the wrong reason. It usually has to do with buying it for the wrong people. Again, in the First Time Boat Buyer Academy, I talk about the 80% rule. Get the boat for 80%. That's going to match 80% of what you're going to do and 80% of the people that are with you. But you're buying the boat. Buy the boat for your 80%, not the girlfriend that you hope is going to come out with you, the in-laws that are going to come once a year the grown adult kids that live 2 hours away that may not make the journey. Buy the boat that's right for your style and your 80%. And then, think about that other 20% that may come in and can I make it work? But don't buy the boat based on somebody else's desires or somebody else's needs that's only going to be on the boat every now and again. I see it happen a lot. Parents say, oh man, my kids are going to love this. And the kids are off in college and they're not coming back home as often as you would hope. Or, hey, this is what for once a year, my family all goes to the cabin and to the condo, and we're going to go out of the water. We got 20 of us. I got to get a boat for 20. No, you don't. That's going to happen once a year. You can figure it out. Get that 80%. The next, and this one's unfortunate, it's why I created this video, is you spend too much on the boat. Now, there's two ways I look at this. One is you overspend your budget. You think, oh my God, now I've got this payment, or I put so much in this boat, I've got to be out on it every day. Otherwise, I'm not going to get the value out of what I spent on it. That's no good. The other is you can't afford it because of all of the other costs associated with boating. You've got storage, you've got fuel, you've got insurance, you've got gear, you've got filling up the cooler, you've got maintenance. You've got all of this stuff. In this video, we go through everything so that people don't get in that predicament and they can buy the boat that truly fits into their budget easily, so they can go on the boat when they have the time and enjoy it and get in the lifestyle, and yet they don't strap themselves. And the second is you just pay too much. You bought the boat for $25,000. You could have got the boat for $24,000. In the First Time Boat Buyers Academy, we have the magic money saving method, which is the negotiation tactic. It even works in today's environment, not quite as well because it's definitely a seller's market. But in that Boat Buyers Academy, we talk about that so you don't pay too much for your boat. So there's two ways to look at that one. And then next we've got you buy the cheap boat that was a great deal. Now, this is one, when I was selling boats, I would hear all the time from customers that, hey, we found the right boat for them. It was, it fit their budget. But I would call them up and say, hey, you ready to put the deposit? And let's get this out on the water so you can do the sea trial and do the demo ride. Make sure it's the right boat for you. Oh, man, my neighbor was selling a boat and he gave it for a great deal. It's not exactly what we were looking for, but it's going to get us started in boating. Red flag alert. This is bound to be a regret, because what happens is it's not what you're going to do for that 80% of the time. And what happens is you don't enjoy boating as much as you would, or it's mechanically not as sound as you need it to be to get out and enjoy it. Those cheap boats that were a great deal, they can often be the boats I recommend don't buy. They've been sitting for a long time. They've got a soft floor, but sometimes it's just flat, not the right style. And it was such a good deal, you couldn't pass it up. And now you bought the wrong style of boat for your lifestyle, your boating lifestyle. It turns into a huge regret. Now you get out of boating early. You don't get the enjoyment you could have. And now you got a boat that you've got to sell. And what seemed like a great deal, now you got to turn around and sell it quickly. And a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times it turns into a financial loss as well. Next we got, you don't consider the storage and the ownership cost. So we talked about dollar amount, but one of the big ones that is a regret is you buy the boat and then it doesn't fit in the garage. It doesn't fit in the storage unit that you were going to store. The marina can't store that type or size of boat. They don't have a dry stack spot available. Now you don't know what to do with it. There's a number of things that can happen. So in the First Time Boat Buyer Academy, again, I talk about getting those things sorted out first. So there's a 7-step process I walk you through in that, so that you can choose the right style of boating for you, figure out the finances, and then start shopping, and then kind of narrow everything in and zero in step 4. And then we talk about inspecting it, making sure you buy the right boat, new or used, negotiation so you get the best deal. But finding the right storage is important, because boat storage is not abundant in a lot of areas. It can be expensive in a lot of areas. And sometimes, when I was a kid, we put it in the driveway. And you can't do that in most places these days. The storage lots, the marinas, they can be expensive. A lot of them are at capacity right now with the popularity of boating. So don't have that regret. Figure it out first. Take advantage of that first-time Boat Buyers Academy, or at least grab the free toolkit at boatbuyersecretweapon.com/toolkit to get you started on the right path. And then this is the regret. There's always a bigger boat. There's only one person in the world with the biggest boat, and that even changes year to year. I think somebody's got some ridiculous 300-foot super yacht building right now that's a 3-year production. I forget who it is, but Bezos has one. There's only one guy with the biggest yacht, or one person with the biggest yacht, probably some prince from Saudi Arabia. So you got to be happy with what you got. You can't be envious of all the other boats. You can look at them and be like, man, that is awesome. That's awesome for that guy. But don't be, that's my boat's not as good. I've only got a 50 on mine, and that guy's got twin 400s. Listen, this is my family growing up. We got started on a 16-foot Larson tri-hull. That's me with my dog Pepsi when I was in, probably 4th, 5th, 6th grade, something like that. 16-foot, 85 outboard. That was, to me, the best boat in the world. There were so many bigger, nicer, faster boats out there, but we were on the water, and it was perfect for our family, for what we needed to do. You can see the picture up on the top. That's me as I was a little older, probably 19, 20, 21, 22, something like that. It brought our family together. It had the memories. So all those regrets of, there's a bigger, nicer, fancier, faster boat, who cares? Because now, 40 years later, that's my wife and my 2 girls out on the water boating. Still 40 years later, we're still boating. There's still bigger, faster boats, nicer boats out there on the water, but we're boating, having fun. We avoided these regrets.
Let's pull up the anchor and run this podcast back to the docks. We'll be back again with another helpful and fun episode next time. If you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, visit boatbuyersecretweapon.com/guest, and I'll help offer insights into your boat research and shopping experience. Also, we'd appreciate it if you took just 2 minutes to rate and review this podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. It helps others find us so we can help more boaters.
By the way, if you want to ensure you find the perfect boat at the lowest possible price so you can buy with 100% confidence, visit boatbuyersecretweapon.com/academy for a short video and all the details.
Now, before we go, I want to leave you with a few first-time boating tips for when you own your new boat. Number 1, know your local boating laws, basic navigation rules, and how to operate your boat safely. It'll make boating even more fun for everyone. 2, be aware of your wake at all times and pay attention to no wake zones because you are responsible for your wake. When maneuvering at slow speeds, you can put out an enormous wake. If going slow, be courteous, save some fuel, and drop down to idle speed, just in forward gear to ensure there is no wake. This could save you an expensive ticket and will keep you from being that guy on your waterway. Number 3, boats do not have headlights. They have docking lights, specifically made for seeing in tight quarters and docking. Do not turn your docking lights on while cruising down the water. It can blind other boaters and is very dangerous, and again, could save you an expensive ticket. Number 4, follow the maintenance schedule for your boat. Change the oil, impeller, gear lube, winterize if you need to winterize in your area. Inspect your trailer tires, bearings, and grease the hubs if you're a trailer boater to ensure you don't experience expensive and unnecessary repairs that will impact your boating time. Number 5, always double check your plug is in, your battery is charged, and the fuel is full before heading out for a day on the water. It could just save your boating day. And if you're a trailer boater, I've got a few extra tips. Number 1, at the boat ramp, prepare your boat, your gear, and your guests in the staging area. Then, when you're ready, back down the ramp, unload the boat, head to the parking lot, and right back down to your boat to be fast and courteous to your fellow boaters, and don't tie up that ramp unnecessarily. Next, Use transom tie-down straps when trailing your boat. Very bad things can happen if you don't, and they do happen. 3, check everything in the boat is secure before heading down the road. Seat cushions, gear, keys, towels, even tubes and lily pads can get blown out when pulling your boat down the highway or interstate. And most important, have fun. Enjoy your boat and get on the water as much as possible, because life truly is better on a boat. Until next time, this is your friend in boating, Captain Matt.